That's one. I'll have a blue Christmas without you.
But what I like about our version of Blue Christmas is it sort of starts out the way you'd expect. You know, it's kind of, but by the end of the song, like the full band is rocking.
Yeah.
You know, like it's not like sappy and.
Yeah. Well, our version of
1,
Blue
4,
Christmas
5, 2.
sounds like, and this was literally the idea was, it sounds like the singer / keyboard player walked into the room, sat down at the Rhodes, and started playing and singing the song. And then the guitar player's like, "Oh yeah, here's a riff, boom, dum," and then the drums are like, "Go, go, go." And so you
Well, it's
feel it
musical.
build. You feel
like
it
the end,
build.
it just builds into more value. And it turns it into an actual.
A little bit of the blues in there.
Why'd you stop?
we could try playing it.
I was just thinking of examples because.
Go on, just do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Blue
So this
Hanson,
Yeah.
Jonesy's Jukebox, KLOS, Merry Christmas songs.
All right, here it is. I guess we're doing Blue Christmas.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll have a blue Christmas without you. I'll be so blue just thinking about you. Decorations of red on your green Christmas tree. They won't be the same, dear, if you're not here with me. And when those blue snowflakes stop falling, I'll hear those blue memories start calling. You'll be doing alright with your Christmas white, and I'll have a blue Christmas. Yeah, you know, blue baby. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's right. Have a blue. There's some blue this Christmas. I'll have a blue Christmas without you, yeah. I feel so blue just thinking about you. You'll be doing alright with your Christmas white, and I'll have a blue Christmas, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm feeling so blue, yeah. And I'm feeling so blue this Christmas, yeah. Hey, you'll be doing alright with your Christmas of white, and I'll have a blue Christmas. That's the morning after performance.
You're listening to Jonesy's Jukebox on KLOS with my guest, Hanson. That was the Kinks, Victoria. Then we had David Bowie, Rebel, Rolling Stones, all down the line. And then we had Hanson doing Blue Christmas.
Yeah. I have to say that was the first time we've ever played that acoustic or attempted to play acoustic.
We're all bemoaning the. We're like, oh God, that was interesting. But yeah, that was Blue Christmas.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No,
you're good.
This is what we do. We should be ready for it.
Oh, you were ready for it.
Yeah.
It sounded good.
Thank you.
Other than a couple of chords here and there.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not pointing any direction.
I appreciate that you can point. You know, doing this job, it's amazing how many non-musicians you have to talk to about music, and like they don't even notice.
Right.
They don't
Anything.
even notice when you totally destroy something. You know.
Yeah.
And you
kind of want it to be noticed.
You know, you don't want people to notice, but at the same time, you
kinda want 'em to
you want
care.
people to care.
Exactly.
I hate the conversation, especially early on. But I mean, it still happens,
where someone goes, "I love you guys because you're a real band.
You
can really play." And you just stop.
no, hang on. No, it's worse
Isn't
than
that a criteria of being in a band?
What's the worst?
No, the worst of it is they follow it with, "You guys can really sing. You guys can really play. Oh, and you write your songs." You're like, wait a second.
What's
This is
the
like
jo-
the
isn't that the
entrance
job
exam to
description?
like this is the entrance exam. This is not like the achievement.
It shouldn't be as opposed to all of the other bands who can't play, can't sing. But it is true that there are many where that's not the case. But for us, it's always about music. So we feel like, I'd be more nervous sitting in a room, with somebody I respect like yourself or, other artists than in front of 10,000 fans, because as a musician, as a craftsman, it'd be like a great painter sitting in front of a great painter. You're more focused on what that person you respect feels about it than anything. That's why we're here.
Although I didn't notice his mistakes.
Yeah. But so
So what do I know? But do you think the percentage of out of all the people in the world, how many people? Let's say all the people in the world is 100 people.
Yeah.
How many of them, percentage-wise, you think are tone deaf?
Oh God.
That's such a great question.
Great question. I'm gonna go.
I'm just gonna say I wish it was a lower number than it really is.
I think it's probably in the 30% range.
You think it's only 30%?
Well, see,
people
this
are
is
tone deaf.
this is an interesting question though, because I think
There are a lot of people can
inherently
sing.
feel the desire to sing along.
Sure.
But it's
You
so
see
I
it
think,
all the time. They're in their car, they're screaming along,
singing.
completely nowhere near what the vocal is doing on the record.
But the desire to sing is there. So I guess how many people just can't actually match a pitch? It's
Not
probably
only-
greater than 30%.
Yeah,
I would
you're
say
probably
it's.
right.
I would say it's. I would say it's more than half.
Not only that, is that they think they can sing. That's the thing. They don't know that they're like a mile away out of key to a song.
I will say that is not true in the Philippines.
The
They
Philippines
have
is an incredible. It has an
remarkably
incredible
good pitch.
concentration of singers there. I don't know.
I mean, they
why
have
that
the
is.
best pitch I have ever
Yeah,
heard.
you never heard an audience sing more in tune.
Maybe it's because of that president. He beats them.
He's pretty tough.
He's a dodgy character, that guy, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You can't beat somebody into having good pitch.
That's true.
A little flat, a little.
Tell that to Joe Jackson.
The morale. Yeah, there.
yeah,
Gosh,
it's got
the
dark.
beatings will stop when the morale improves.
Yeah. I will say, we've been doing that since we were little kids. I was 6 when we started singing together, and you sometimes take for granted the fact that
Naturally, you can
we
hit.
were born
Yeah.
into a family of people who were pretty creative and pretty musical, and it came naturally. We've done, and
You
that's just
can't-
that's not actually normal to feel very creatively comfortable. It is
For most people,
whether
yeah.
you come at it naturally or whether you somehow acquire it through school or
Yeah.
But the work ethic, the difference is, and we joke about this because since we started off, people know us for having long hair, and so there's always, hey, you guys have things like, you have great hair, things that you can't actually take any responsibility for. Thanks, genes. But but the thing you can do is work at becoming a craftsman, right? And so that's the part you do kind of decide, okay, I made a decision to do this and to try and build this. And there's a lot of incredibly talented people some of the most talented people that didn't decide, to go after it.
yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
Do you think someone who is tone deaf can be taught?
It's there are some things that can't be taught.
So my wife is not is.
Oh,
is,
don't
is
do
so,
it. Don't
no,
do
no,
it.
no,
Oh,
no,
no.
Not your wife.
No. I was
Not
gonna
your
say that-
wife.
No, I was gonna say that my wife it took her a long time to sing around me because she is self-conscious about how she sings, but she's actually really good when she's actually referencing
going.
a song. She's actually so
Yeah.
I think it's about context. I think with a lot of people it's really about when you hear the chord, you're like, oh, okay, I think that makes sense. But if you don't have the pitch reference, that's really where it separates the wheat from the
Yeah.
chaff, as they say.
Yeah.
Man, we're circling that one.
We're bursting people's dreams right now.
yeah.
I wasn't
Yeah.
saying my wife is doing that.
It's a good question, though.
Well, what
It's
I,
a good question.
Well, there is some people who are very successful who sing a certain style.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
David Bowie was one.
I don't know, but there is some other people that I know that when they sing, they don't sing the obvious chord
Note.
note
Yeah.
with it. They go somewhere else, but it works in a weird way. You couldn't jam with them
yeah.
because they just don't get that concept.
Yeah.
But there are people who have,
Yeah.
not going to name any names, but
Like
Yeah.
Morrissey.
he actually ain't got bad pitch.
No.
No, but his choices.
style.
I'm saying his
His
choices.
style.
You said where he
Yeah.
goes in the chord. Like,
Exactly.
He'll do things that you're like, no, he
Exactly.
has good pitch, but
Yeah.
and that was all the same thing I meant by Bowie. Bowie would be an
Yeah.
example of somebody who would make a choice that I'd be like,
A stylist.
Like Mick
stylistic
Jagger.
choice.
Mick Jagger.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, is not really.
Well, he's an unsinger sort of too.
But
even-
I like
Kinda
them
talks
types.
it.
I like,
Yeah.
you know,
Kind of talks it.
He's got so much. Yeah, he brings so much attitude to the picture.
distinctive.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah,
you know it's
absolutely.
him
Oh my God, yeah.
when you hear him.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also not to go off track, but the lyrics. Oh my God, I mean that's really with Mick. His lyrics
What he
are
says.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sort of makes up for all kinds of things.
And how many bloody songs has he written?
A gazillion.
Yeah.
Him
I think it's
Wow.
a technical
him
term.
and
actually.
Keith.
Yeah.
Him and Keith. Yeah.
Yeah.
They got to be billionaires.
If,
I-
if
I
they're
don't
not,
know.
it's just because they spend it all.
They got to be billionaires, man.
Yeah, they're
No,
bound to
we
be.
we were looking at that, and somebody said they were talking about someone had sold 500 million records,
like,
and
there's
so we
not-
started looking up who had the most certified. you
Yeah.
know, and the first couple are kind of who you'd expect, and Michael
Beatles.
Jackson is up there
Yeah,
at
the
like
Beatles.
300 something million, and Beatles, and but yeah, the Rolling Stones are also up there in that like unachievable,
Well, they've never
200
broke
and
up.
something million records.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They've never broke up.
No.
They're always touring. They're always making
I know.
records.
Yeah.
which
I
is
know.
it's pretty amazing, really.
And they're still
smart
going.
enough to know.
I think Mick is the driving force in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the business guy.
I think he's business minded. Yeah.
Yeah,
Something,
smart.
something I don't have.
Yeah.
I just spend everything. I'm an idiot. If I back a horse, guarantee it's the wrong horse,
Well,
without a doubt.
so just do the opposite of whatever Jonesy does, and you'll be great.
You'll be great.
So here's my question: what do you think about Bitcoin? Okay.
Yeah. What do you? That's the thing, right? That's the thing.
Well,
The
I think
Bitcoin.
I
I don't
think
know
the
enough
funny
about it,
thing,
so-
though, we were talking about this just because we get along for the most part, right, as guys, and we've been doing this just long enough that it's an achievement to stay together, right?
Yeah.
Just long enough, and I think there's this perception that if you're a band that survives, it's because you don't fight or you don't have conflict or you always agree, and my whole thing is like we fight like we eat 3 times a day as much as we can. I mean, it's not fighting is not, getting along in the traditional sense. I don't think is what defines a working, like, successful relationship.
Holding on to resentments is the problem.
There you
If
go.
you just
Ah,
have
yeah,
it all out
exactly.
when it happens, if you get it all out when it happens, and you move on.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
you start
Nail it.
festering, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
got
I was talking about bitcoins. What are you
Yeah,
talking
exactly.
about?
Yeah, exactly. Well, it was because we were arguing about Bitcoin.
Well, Isaac was telling me to buy Bitcoin, and I was saying it's probably a good idea, but it's also based on nothing.
I mean, it's
so
escalated to
And it
such
can
a
just
degree.
disappear.
Yeah, it's
Your
like
money could just disappear.
well, that's
too.
why you don't. That's why you don't put everything you own into
here's
Bitcoin.
Here's
but-
what I think.
Just
though.
watch The Big Short
I-
before buying any more Bitcoin.
Well, I think Bitcoin is probably like one of those emails you get from a prince in Uganda. Like,
Right.
it just seems like such a good idea.
Right.
But one day we're all going to find out, like, it doesn't exist.
Well, that has
Like,
happened. That has happened to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Where it's just money gone.
Oh yeah.
No one to
Absolutely.
call. There's nowhere to call.
Yeah.
You know, it's not good.
Like I said, that's why you don't put it in everything in Bitcoin.
Right. Just some of it.
It's like an insurance policy.
You're gonna do another song?
Sure.
Yeah, you want to do, like a...
We were thinking.
We put out
we're
a
gonna play
greatest hits this year. One of the things we did, just because after 25 years, we figured there should probably be a distinctive collection of Hanson songs. So this is one of the songs off that. Think about
I
something?
think this one will be good in this little acoustical setting.
We're here with Hanson. You're listening to Jonesy's Jukebox on KLOS.
It's called Think About Something. Takes us back to 2000. 2010.
1, 2. When I gave you love, you know it. So when did you outgrow it and decide that you would find another man? Yeah. Well, you've been out there shaking, tell the boys are chasing. When you get home, you think I'll be the bigger man. Yeah. 'Cause I've been thinking about something. I've been thinking about something other than you. Hey. Well, I know your reputation, 'cause you set my heart racing. You think I will always be the fool. Well, I've run out of patience for this sticky situation. You won't find me crying down with you, yeah. 'Cause I've been thinking about something. I've been thinking about something other than you. I know it's sad to say, but every day I've been thinking about something. I've been thinking about something other than you. Hey, hey, not too bad to beg. I can give you some respect. 'Cause with you in your home, it's never gonna change. You didn't have to do what you did. I think you would end it like this. 'Cause the love I've got is better than what you gave. Well, I got girls in line, waiting for these arms of mine. Listen up to what I say. 'Cause I've been thinking about something. I've been thinking about something other than you. You know it's sad to say, but baby, every day I've been thinking about something. I've been thinking about something other than you. Hey, hey, the bitch. When I've had enough of your tainted love, you give me every day. Hey, I try to write through the lonely nights, but I'm tired getting played. Come on, yeah, I'm not gonna make that same mistake. Hey. You've been out there fooling, but I'm not thinking about you. I've been getting love that moves me. Well, you've been getting around, yeah. You've been out there fooling, but I'm not thinking about you. I've been getting love that moves me. You've been getting around, yeah. You've been out there fooling, but I'm not thinking about you. I've been getting love that moves me. You've been getting around, yeah.
You're listening to Jonesy's Jukebox on KLOS. That was ELO, Living Thing. And we had the Velvet Underground, I'm Waiting for the Man. And we had Tame Impala, Elephant. And Queen, Somebody to Love. And Queens of the Stone Age, I Sat by the Ocean. And then Hanson did Thinking About Something.
That's a really good run of songs right there.
Yeah,
Besides the Hanson one.
it's all good.
Self-deprecating. What can we say?
What was your biggest hit? The doo-wop song?
Yeah.
Umba.
Yeah.
Umba, sorry.
Yeah. No, it's good.
How could I get that wrong?
Yeah. Well, doo-wop is where it comes from. You know, listening to that sort of
Listening
50s
to
stuff.
60s doo-wop groups and early
Soul-
rock and roll and soul music.
Yeah. Yeah.
How did
Yeah.
you stumble on that? How did you write that song?
Well, it actually started as a background part. I mean, we've written, love great songwriters and craftsmen. I mean, just kind of like fans and like students of that. But that was, we were trying to create a part to be the background to another song. And so we
While we were
sat there
doing a
doing kind of a
recording session.
ooh, and then the pattern started happening. And it was too hooky to be the background.
Yeah.
And I went, oh, that's kind of good. And then we just mothballed it for about 2 years, and it just
Yeah.
sort of sat there, and it became. And it
I
became a
really
song.
clearly remember being
How old
at
were
the
you
house.
that point?
Oh gosh, well, let's see. We
would've
probably first came up with the idea when I was somewhere around 13 or 14. So you would have been like 11 or 12. That could have been
I
like
was 11, yeah.
7 or 8, something like that. But I do really clearly remember after a couple of years of that idea kind of lingering around, we had talked about it one particular evening and sung it again and sang it again and yeah, we should really do something with that. And then walking down the hallway, I feel like it was probably within that next week, and walking down the hallway, and Tay was sitting there very broodingly looking at the piano. And he was kind of going through something very methodically. He looked up at me, and I was like, "What are you doing?" He's like,
Yeah.
He looked up at me and said, I think I got a cool idea for that background part song, and I think we could like make it into something." It was just really, and I really, it was basically
I
the
remember
first
that
verse
specifically.
and the first chorus.
The thing that's so interesting
Kind of
about
idea.
that song, I mean, of course, you're proud of everything you've done. You always want to go forward, but that song is interestingly about the strangeness of like the experiences we all had, how things come and go, and you really only get a few relationships that really count, and it's a very, it's sort of a very melancholy song.
At least lyrically,
which is
speaking,
if you actually listen. So anyway, but
Yeah.
I started with doo-wop, early rock and roll.
Cool.
You're gonna play with us, right? You're gonna-
Excuse me?
Right? Aren't you?
Yeah.
You've got a guitar.
I got dirty mind.
Yeah, no, that makes me think of I have a 9-year-old, and my wife said to me, "Wow, it's reached the point where you've raised something that now you can play with yourself, and it's okay."
That's the one who swore earlier.
Yeah,
just
it
said
wasn't
that.
quite like that. She didn't quite say it like that, but that's how I heard it.
You just go, check please.
I'll get
I
my
don't
coat.
think that means what you think it means.
Okay, so I'm going to play along here. We're going to do a classic,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sam and Dave.
Yeah, Sam and Dave, soul classic,
See if you can pull
which
this
we
one out.
just kind of pulled out here while we were talking.
Yeah.
This is Hold On, I'm Coming.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4.
Say, hold on, I'm coming. Hold on, well, I'm coming. Break it down. Say, don't you ever be sad. Lean on me when times are bad. When the day comes and you're feeling down in a river of trouble, you're about to drown. Yeah, then hold on. I'm coming. Hold on. When I'm coming. Yeah. Say, hold on. When I'm coming.
listening to Jonesy's Jukebox on KLOS. That was The Faces, Miss Judy's Farm. Beautiful, from the album Nods as Good as a Wink to a Blind Horse. Then we had Freddie King, Going Down. And there you go. And then we had a little Sam and Dave moment
Yeah.
We did.
with Hanson, who are going to England tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Manchester. You're playing in
Yeah.
Manchester.
Yep, we just have one show in the UK for this
Yeah.
this
So
final
Christmas
run.
run, yeah.
we have this Christmas record out, and we've traveled all over playing shows earlier in the year, but we wanted to do at least one show where the UK fans and the European fans could kind of get in on the act. And so we said, well, that's an easy place for everybody to get to. And
We'd
Yeah.
just been in London doing 2 nights at Shepherd's Bush, so we're like, well, let's get up.
That's where I was
out
born.
the corner. In
Shepherd's
Manchester.
Bush.
Oh, in Shepherd's Bush.
Yeah.
Hammersmith, just round the corner.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know what it was like when you were born, but it was pretty cool this time.
It's definitely different. It feels like it's changed.
It's changed a lot. It's not for me anymore, but it was good when I was young.
Yeah.
It's all right. I don't know.
Do you get back to the UK much?
No, not if I can help it.
Yeah.
No. 2008 was the last time I was there.
Wow, really?
I, I can't stand jet lag.
Well,
Oh yeah, the jet lag thing.
Going that way is a nightmare.
Oh yeah,
No,
it's rough. It's rough.
You're going to enjoy it. Don't worry.
yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. It's part of the package, unfortunately.
You know,
Yeah.
the only thing I like about long plane flights is I never, I like to go to movies, but I never seem to find the time to do it.
Yeah.
And when you're sitting on a plane and you just
Right.
like, I'm going to watch these 3 movies that I,
Where you
We'll
sit?
probably never watch.
yeah.
Where are you going to sit on the plane? At the back, in the middle, or up the front?
Oh,
It's kind of in the middle.
Kind of in
yeah,
the middle.
we're
Yeah,
not
business.
We're not too fancy. In the
Bit-
middle.
I can't go anywhere unless I'm next to the pilot.
Yeah.
I'm a snob. I'm a snob.
Hey,
Just
you
can't
know
do
what?
it.
God bless you. And then that'd be great. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Something to look forward to in your
Yeah.
old age.
Exactly.
Well, listen, thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
That was fun. You got an album, Christmas album coming out,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Last
Finally, it's
one
Christmas.
since
It's
20
out.
years ago.
Yeah.
And if people want to kind of dive in and catch up on Hanson, we actually put together a proper greatest hits record this year, which is called Middle of Everywhere. You get it, everywhere you get music,
Yeah.
which kind of takes you through,
Yeah. Well, good luck
Thank you very much.
and have a safe flight to sunny old England.